Okay, so the next we will discuss about arthropod-borne disease. We will discuss about lymphatic filariasis. So, what is filariasis or lymphatic filariasis? Lymphatic filariasis, also known as the elephantiasis, or in Indonesia we call it as kaki gajah. It is a neglected tropical disease that caused by infections with parasites that classified as nematodes or roundworms of the family Filariidae that transmit to humans through mosquitoes. And mosquitoes transmitted larvae are deposited on the skin from where they can enter the body, and the larvae will migrate to the lymphatic vessels, and they will develop into adult worms and continue the cycle of the transmissions. The infections of the disease may be acquired during childhood, but the visible manifestations such as the lymphedema may occur in the later life, and it can causing temporary or permanent disability. This is the epidemiology of lymphatic filariasis. So, lymphatic filariasis affects over 120 million people in 72 countries throughout the tropics and subtropics of Asia, Africa, Western Pacific, and parts of the Caribbean and South America. And in Indonesia, the lymphatic filariasis cases was increased significantly by years. And how about the cause and the transmissions of the lymphatic filariasis? Actually, the first is Wucheria bancrofti, which became the worms that responsible for most of the cases, mostly 90% of the cases. And then the second is Brugia malayi, which causes most of the remainder of the cases. And then the last is Brugia timori, that also can cause the filariasis disease. The adult worms will nest in the lymphatic vessels and disrupt the normal functions of the lymphatic system. Worms can live for approximately 6 until 8 years during their lifetime and will produce millions of microfilaria, or immature larvae, that circulate in the blood. Mosquitoes that are infected with microfilaria by ingesting the blood when biting an infected host, microfilaria mature into infective larvae with the mosquito. And when infected mosquito bite other people, the mature parasite larvae are deposited on the skin, from where they can enter to the body. The larvae then migrate to the lymphatic vessels, where they develop into adult worms, and then continuing the cycle of the transmissions. The lymphatic filariasis transmit by different types of mosquitoes. For example, Culex mosquitoes, it is widespread across urban and semi-urban areas. Anopheles, that mainly found in rural areas, and also Aedes, that mainly in endemic island in the Pacific. This is one of the example of the life cycle of Wucheria bancrofti that I said before, as the main filarial worm of the filariasis disease. So we can look in the picture that mosquito will take a blood meal, and L3 larvae will enter the skin. And then in the human stage, the larvae will become adult worms, and then adult worm will produce microfilaria that migrate into lymphatic and peripheral blood circulation, and after that mosquitoes will take a blood meal, and then microfilaria will shed the sheets and penetrate mosquito midgut and migrate to thoracic muscle, and it become L1 larvae. Then the L1 larvae became L3 larvae, and L3 larvae will migration to the mosquito head and proboscis, and then the cycle will continue. How about the symptoms of filariasis? So the majority of infections are asymptomatic. It is showing no external signs of infection while contributing to the transmission of parasite. This asymptomatic infection still causes the damage to the lymphatic system and the kidneys and alter the body's immune system. When lymphatic filariasis develops into chronic condition, it will lead to lymphedema, or the tissue swelling, or elephantiasis, or the skin or the tissue thickening of limbs, and hydrocele or scrotal swelling. So involvement of breast and genital organs also common. Such body deformities often lead to the social stigma in community and suboptimal the mental health. Loss of income earning opportunities and increased medical expense for patients and their caretaker also become the problems because of this disease. In the acute condition or acute episodes of the local inflammation involving skin, lymph node, and lymphatic vessel often accompany chronic lymphedema or elephantiasis. Some of these episodes are caused by the body's immune response to the parasite, and most are the result of secondary bacterial skin infection, where the normal defense have been partially lost due to the underlying lymphatic damage. These acute attacks are debilitating, may last for weeks, and are the primary cause of lost wages among people suffering with lymphatic filariasis. The diagnosis of this disease using the standard method for diagnosis active infection, which is the identification of microfilaria in the blood smear by microscopic examination. So the microfilaria that cause the lymphatic filariasis circulate in the blood at night. The blood collection should be done at night to coincide with the appearance of the microfilaria, and a thick smear should be made and stained with Giemsa or hematoxylin and eosin. For increased sensitivity, concentration technique can be used. And also serologic technique provide an alternative to microscopic detection of microfilaria for the diagnosis of lymphatic filariasis. Patients with active filarial infection typically have elevated levels of antifilarial or IgG4 in the blood, and this can be detected using routine assay. The prevention and control for the lymphatic filariasis, the best way is avoid, of course, mosquito bites. The mosquitoes that carry the microscopic worm usually bite between the hours of dusk and dawn or at night. Uh, if someone lives in an area with lymphatic filariasis, they should consider sleep in the air-conditioned room or maybe sleep under a mosquito net at the night. And between dusk and dawn, they need to wear long sleeves and trousers, and also use mosquito repellent on the exposed skin. Another approach of the prevention includes giving the entire community's medicine that kills the microscopic worms, or we know as the MDA, and controlling the mosquitoes itself. Annual mass treatment reduces the level of microfilaria in the blood and thus diminish transmission of infections. This is also the basis of the global program of the Eliminate Lymphatic Filariasis. So that's all my presentations. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it can help us to more understand about the protozoa and also arthropod-borne disease. Thank you.